Team 경기장 도시형.
All right. Oh, is it my turn to say
It is
all
your
right
turn.
and then
Go ahead.
introduce the game? I promise next time I'm not going to say the word all right. I'm done with that. I'm done with that word. So, here we are on Atlantis Spaceship in the yellow from the team Mouz. A Zerg player named BiGs is going to try to take on our red Protoss up at the top of the map. You can click a little bit earlier than that next time. From the team Quantic, it is SaSe.
You usually do this like distinct.
Right.
I was trying to react to I try to react to the way you present them.
You
and
just
like,
wanted to see how long I would go. Ah.
had to have you try and pull a tasteless there
Thanks,
for a little while.
man.
No, it's just I tried to mold to your delivery style. And usually you have this like break where you're like, this, and then I click up and then you're like,
I'm
and
sorry.
This. So it's all one big continuous phrase there.
I like to switch it up.
I like it. Makes things dynamic.
Thanks.
Viewers never know what's going to hit them.
I guess so. Well, we don't have Thorzane in this game to do some sort of proxy stuff. So BiGs is going to have to pick up the slack. He's going to have to carry on the torch, if you will, although Zergs generally aren't big fans of torches.
Nope.
Namely the ones on the front of Hellions or the front of Firebat's arms.
Did you see the Hellion bunker on r/StarCraft, though?
No.
It's awesome. The guy just made a ring of supply depots and had all the Hellions inside of it.
Oh.
It was pretty funny, actually.
It's pretty funny.
It was kind of like a stationary massive Firebat. All right, so it looks like a Forge Fast expand coming out of BiGs for SaSe. Up at the front of his natural. Of course, this map is such that you can throw down one pylon and wall this entire area off, so it's pretty easy to take a couple of bases. Further expansions are a little bit harder because of how spaced out everything is. But BiGs going to drop down pool first to make sure he doesn't take too much damage from this harassment.
Yep, that's right. SaSe doing a good job of preventing that hatchery from going down for as long as he possibly can. Although if you look, BiGs has been spending minerals, so will he get it down right at 300? Yes, he will.
Nice.
Nice job by BiGs to kind of occupy that probe long enough to do that.
I always think probes are dejected whenever they fail to get the block. Aww.
I think so too. They're like, I had one job and I failed it. I wasn't even good enough to mine minerals.
Well, he's going to have to try and deny mining of minerals for a while.
Yep.
He temporarily inconveniences the hatchery there, but it already covers its health.
Now, when I was in Korea with these guys, with SaSe and Naniwa and some of the other people there, the biggest thing that everybody was having trouble with is mutalisks.
Okay.
They all the time, like that was a major complaint from all the Protoss players was, what do we do against mutalisks? So on a map like this, I think it'd be a great idea for BiGs to go for mutalisks. We saw it work really well for Destiny. I feel like it could work here too.
Yeah, as big as this map is, especially with that space through the middle, those very mobile units would be very helpful here. Now, there is a relatively close third, so it's not really any harder to take a third as it would be on, say, something like Daybreak or whatever the case may be.
Right,
but it's really after that it becomes the problem, and that's when Mutalisks are really going to flex their strength as well, or whenever Protoss players overextend themselves.
Their baddie wings.
Yes. It's whenever Protoss players overextend themselves through the middle of the map, or they get on in a little more exposed fourth base, Mutalisks are really, really strong then.
Yeah, absolutely. This Zergling, is he going to get the probe? Oh, the cannon.
Oh.
The cannon.
Oh,
Little robotic units protecting each other. Isn't that nice?
It is.
Although it kind of makes you wonder, though. I mean, you've got the supposedly robotic units, but you know what? The Immortal comes out of a robotics facility. That's got the soul of or the spirit of a Protoss person in it. So
it does.
Does possibly everything they make have dead Protoss in it?
Even the probes?
Even the probes?
Okay, so wait a
Maybe.
second here. We have Stalkers, which are dead DTs, which doesn't make any sense because there's a billion Stalkers and no DTs. But
well, you just don't see the other
probes are dead what? SCVs? Anyway.
No. Just dead regular Protoss. Like if you're...
Oh, just like civilians. Like Jim Protoss.
Or if you're like a high school kid, you I don't know, get hit by a Protoss bus or something one day. They turn you into a probe, I guess. You never got any combat training. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of an example.
But occasionally you get to annoy you. It is the most annoying StarCraft unit, though. So
yeah, it is.
All right. Let's see here. We have Robotics Facility following this up as well. So thus far, SaSe actually with the same build that we saw against Thorzane, which he's playing a different race. Against a different race this time, but it looks like it's going to be 3 gates after this. No, I guess he did put down second gate first before putting down the Robo last time, but still arriving to the same conclusion. Has +1 coming up as well. Biggs has his Roach Horn on the way, along with his Evolution Chamber and Layer Tech. So we're actually investing in a lot of upgrades and structures and expansions at the moment.
Yep, that's right. So just kind of trying to get everything going. We've got the no rush 10-minute rule in effect on this one. We don't really want anyone doing any damage early.
The gentleman's game. As,
that's right. These guys are very friendly to each other, apparently. And there's on a big map like this, there's not a whole lot you can do against your opponent unless you're willing to take some really big risks early on. Oh, but I like this by SaSe. He is one of the better Protoss players out there with Warp Prism play, in my experience. So he does go for this quite a bit in PvZ.
All right, and we're going to see if that can do some substantial damage to Biggs, although Biggs does have pretty good map control right now. He's got control of the northern Zelnaga Tower. Now, there is space, of course, where SaSe is going to fly around that, but it looks like he's going to make his way right through an Overlord.
Yep, that's right. I think that Overlord is going to see it. And the question is, will Biggs see it on his mini-map? There's a lot of times where a unit will fly past another one like this, and it's such a small blip on your mini-map that some people, even pro players, will miss that sometimes.
Let's take a look at his vision now. We're actually following his vision, so we're going to see if he actually picks up on that here in just a second.
There's the blip.
He should see it.
And he might not even need to look at it. Okay, yeah, he does.
There it is.
Okay.
And now he knows for sure. So we'll flip back to everyone's view to see how he deals with it. Already sending
good
back some
mini-map awareness. He saw that right away.
Very much so. Very
but
much so.
Does he have enough to handle it? SaSe warping in Stalkers, interestingly enough.
And he actually just started another 5 drones, so he feels that he is plenty safe to this, but unfortunately there's a couple of Zealots with +1 that are making their way down, and they're just going to start tearing right after a few drones.
Yep, that's right, and then they're going to run away. Are those Zealots just, like, targeting certain drones?
I think that's what had initially happened.
Doing? They're just kind of corralling them. They're like, get along, little drones.
And let's see, this Warp Prism taking some damage, but it looks like it's going to try and drop into the natural here in just a second. Now, those are still +1 Zealots and very, very strong at this stage of the game against what Biggs has on the field, but SaSe still taking a lot of damage. That Warp Prism down to just 47 hit points.
Yikes. All right. And this is kind of what SaSe does in PvZ. He tries to just be very harass-oriented with Warp Prisms a lot of times. He tries to just get in there and cause mischief, cause some damage if he can, and just do whatever it takes to kind of throw the Zerg off their game here, too.
Yeah. Oh, the mischievous SaSe.
Yep, that's right. Biggs handling it very well, though. He hasn't taken really any damage. He might, almost losing that queen, but it's would have been the first significant damage he would have taken.
Wow, and now that Warp Prism down to just 15 hit points as well. So, as you mentioned, he's mitigating the damage pretty well. He's continued with his drone production. Yes, he is down a couple. We only lost 5 workers through all that harassment. That was a big investment for SaSe.
And there is a Spire coming up for Biggs, too, so he's thinking the same thing. He wants to go mutas on this map, and that'll be a good way to handle that Warp Prism play by SaSe as well. And the other thing that Biggs can start doing soon is start to take expansions around the map. Once the mutas come out, he can protect those pretty easily, and once SaSe loses the maneuverability of that, it's tough to handle those expansions.
All right, well, we'll see what... oh, nice catch there by SaSe, but I liked Biggs' idea of sending... I thought he was just going to send back like 1 Roach or something like that to sacrifice it to allow his others to get away. Ends up only losing 1 to begin with, but still.
Oh, watch out, Overlord.
Oh, looks like that Warp Prism is back. Taking damage once again down to half its shields. A few Roaches making their way up to the top. Not going to do too much damage. Those Roaches do have +1 weapons upgrades, but now, of course, SaSe is already finished with +2.
Yep, he's going to try to push it on the Sir, but there's way too many Roaches there for him to do any damage.
Yeah, we're getting kind of a situation like earlier on with Destiny when he was just able... He didn't take any damage from the early part of the game and was just able to comfortably macro and pulled such a significant lead on the cheap Roaches.
Yeah, the big difference here is that SaSe is starting out with a lot more Stalkers than Hasuab's had, so yeah, he's going to be doing just fine with this attack here. The mutas are not even really going to be made because of all the defense that Biggs needs to worry about.
Sure.
And SaSe has got some pretty good force fields here. Nice Guardian Shield as well. The Immortal firing from the back, not taking any damage yet. Yeah, SaSe is controlling this push really well right now.
Yeah, Blink is actually finished at the same time. We're going to see what Biggs can do now, though. The hold on looks like he's going to surround units from the back. That's really going to mitigate the Blink ability, actually. So Roaches are starting to tear after those Immortals. First one does go down. The second one is still remaining. It's trying to be targeted down, but it looks like there's too much here from SaSe, and all that is actually going to die. So Biggs trying to filter in with whatever he can at the moment. He's got quite a bit back there, but it looks like this base may be forfeit.
Yeah, it looks like he is going going to lose his third for sure. So nice little victory there for SaSe. And if he wants to, he could continue pushing here too.
And let's see, is he going to keep going on, or are we just going to see a big engagement here with Roaches up at the top? SaSe is actually expanding to his third, moving over those probes right now. And BiGs has got to do something now because this is quite a bit of damage being done by this Stalker Ball.
Oops, BiGs getting a little bit too far forward with those Roaches, almost getting the entire army cut in half. He only lost about 3 there, but still, that's not a situation you want to be in. He's not going to have the economy to keep producing Roaches to survive like this. So if SaSe kind of keeps putting pressure on now, it's going to be very difficult for BiGs to get any sort of traction from this point in the game on, and he's actually just going to go for a counterattack with those Roaches.
All right.
Wow.
Well, it looks like
That's
that's
not going to work.
Nope, not at all. We'll see if he can do any damage, possibly to the third. I don't know. I think this is just everything here is just going to die.
Yep. Certainly are. Oh, no, the Roaches on move command as well.
Oh, wow.
Losing a lot of those. Yeah, I think we're going to see a GG pretty soon.
All
GG
right.
from BiGs, and we are going to go on to a Game 9, it looks like.
Yes, we are, as a
Wow.
matter of fact. So that is SaSe doing quite a good job, as a matter of fact, coming back in these games.